I don't watch cartoons very often, and never mind Disney cartoons. I've heard great things about Star, I've heard great things about the Owl House, and I've also heard great things about Amphibia. And considering the title of the video, I watched Amphibia, so you don't have to. Now, I'm gonna give a spoiler warning, as I don't want to spoil anyone that doesn't want to be spoiled, so if you do want to watch Amphibia, leave now, please. I'm begging you, please. Anyways, Amphibia is one of the latest and greatest from the Disney Channel, as it, along with the Owl House, have gotten a lot of spotlight this year, and justifiably so. They are ambitious projects with an enthralling plot and lovable characters. It's only logical that the networks would push them out that hard. And speaking of pushing hard here, I was pushed hard to watch Amphibia. You know, I gotta say here, I had mixed thoughts on the show initially. I mean, I watched the first 7 or so episodes, and I have to say, I was pretty bored. Now, I did practically force myself to watch the rest of the show, which I don't regret at all actually, it's a pretty good show, but that still happened. Why was I bored? There was barely any plot. The characters at the time weren't that entertaining. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it, but there was nothing that made it stick out in my opinion. I was watching it still, but I was just mindlessly consuming media. I do that with most shows nowadays anyways, but then came episode 10, and everything changed. If there is one thing that I noticed about Amphibia, it's that it frequently plants seeds that would get brought up later on. It's an incredibly common thing in stories, but in particular with Amphibia, it showed itself so clearly in episode 10. Getting away from that though, we have the main character. This right here is our protagonist, Anne, a spunky character who is very kind-hearted. She gets teleported to Amphibia along with 2 friends. I say friends in quotation marks and, yeah. After Anne gets taken into this dodgy world, she gets adopted by a family of frogs. They're dubbed the Planters, and they are kind of like controversial, but anyways, the entirety of season 1A is all about getting the village to respect Anne and like her. Anne gradually finds out and learns more about the Amphibia culture. Culture? Yeah, culture. This all accumulates to season 1, episode 10, as I mentioned earlier, where we get introduced to a new species of Amphibia. We are introduced to the Toads, an intimidating and fearless bunch, who are doing nefarious things. And Anne being her lovely, friendly self, she joins the, Toad Tower Deputy, a group of toads that collect tax. Yes, tax. Tax is a reoccurring thing in this show for some reason. It's mentioned quite a few times actually, although we find out that Anne only joins the toads for respect from the village, which is pretty sad. However, there is one thing that's relatable. Episode 10 of Amphibia is actually pretty hard to watch, as you see all your favourite extras getting robbed. It's actually pretty dark, until you see that the mayor is corrupt and his greediness is why everyone else suffered. It's only whenever Anne actually stands up for those around her that she gets respect, which is then expanded upon in season 1B. The toads leave, and in the second half of the episode, we get introduced to the second of the 3 humans that got teleported to Amphibia, Sasha. Sasha being a part of the toads. Her character's more anti-hero than anything. She is a lot more charismatic than Anne, and she's also a lot more manipulative. She was pulling the strings, and she knew how to correctly, socially manipulate her way up the ladder. This again continuing to build for about 9 episodes, and in those 9 episodes we get between the mid-season finale and the actual season finale, we get some really enjoyable, entertaining episodes. Honourable mentions would be Hop Hop inspires a political revolution all over Amphibia for seeing the previous corruption in episode 10, Hop Hop gets a girlfriend. Hop Hop drugs the kids. You know, I think I'm starting to see that Hop Hop is my favourite character here. Hop Hop is your local old man. A bit weird, but he has a croaking personality and he cares for his family greatly. His character is actually pretty mysterious and I can't wait to see where his character goes in the future. In general, the characters are pretty great. I love the main cast and the supporting characters are also delightful. I've gone over the ones that are most important in my opinion, but I think someone that should get a specific mention here is Sprig. Sprig is the optimistic one in the group and constantly has high spirits despite, in some cases, being in the worst possible situation. He is an incredibly light-hearted character, almost to a fault. However, he is solely responsible for conveying the show's main message, and for that, I honestly adore his character. I suppose that begs the question, what is the message of Amphibia? The message of Amphibia is all about friendship. I am trying my best to not completely butcher the story here, but the bond between Sprig and Anne is very important to the story's main values, and it's incredibly satisfying to watch this come to fruition in the season finale. Heck, it's even shown in the series synopsis, as it mentions true friendship. As someone who has experienced toxic friends, it's incredibly refreshing, and who knows, it's not only relatable to me watching it, but I can only assume that a kid watching Disney Channel, tuning into Amphibia, and getting a better understanding of what true friendship is like, even though it's about a human and a frog. We're on the second season now, and who knows, if this video does well, I will probably make a second video for the second season. But with that being said, thank you for watching. We're on the road to 2.5k, so let's get it. Here's another video you can watch though. Bye.